So I hope you have been thinking it for yourself. These are something very, very simple, but you must be sharp. As Bhagavan says Shankara says must be very sharp. As Shankara says in Vivek Chudamani, Oha Poha Vichakshana. The mind should be very, very sharp. That's not a condition. The sharpness does not mean you should solve the exotic equations, riddles, intelligence test, high IQ. Not that type of sharpness. Common sense. Just very simple common sense. How? We'll see that. Because that one word, anubhava, experience, we shall see it more and more, friends, and please see how simple, instantaneous, easy it is. Close your eyes for a minute. Just if we observe our lives, please think that every human being from our childhood, we have all been experience hunters, hunting for, looking for exceptional, exclusive, exotic, paranormal, supernatural experiences. We compare our experiences. If somebody says he saw the sunrise near his village, you shall say, have you seen it from a mountain top? Now he is in trouble. He has to go to a mountain top. Then if you say, did you see it? I saw it in the mountain top, but did you go to Kanyakumari, where the three oceans meet? Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean? No. Achha, sunset is a sunset. Does it matter where it sets? Just think. Simple as that. Sunset is a sunset. Yes, it matters. That is from the sea or from the mountain top or from behind the Himalayan mountain range. The landscapes are different. Setting sun is same. But we are looking for that. And you are disappointed that you have been seeing it in your village only from behind the paddy field and not from the Alps or Himalayas. That principle, same everywhere. Have you listened to a song? Yes. Did you listen to Mano Buddhi Ahanka? Yes. But did you listen to that particular artist? Oh. Acha. Why do you listen to that particular verse from the Vedas or the Upanishads or anybody? For the sake of the sounds, sound bite, simple Sanskrit, because it is Sanskrit language, or because you should understand what the words mean, what they point out. If you understand the meaning of it, it doesn't matter who speaks, what tune, who sings, it doesn't matter. We are not interested in meaning. We are interested in sensation of the sound. That is why if you look at this YouTube and all this YouTube, iTube and all that stuff in the digital world, if there is a Upanishad chanting, 5 million have heard. Understanding, not even 5. Think of it. How we are completely lust. Have you touched a tiger cub? I have got a nice mongrel, small cat, kitten, or a puppy. Have you touched a cub? If you say yes, have you touched a polar bear? Think. You feel bad not because you have not touched or tasted or smelled, but because others have done and you have not done it. You don't have that experience. Listen carefully. How much can I talk, friends? You think for yourself. Taste. Are you interested in tasting something or satisfying your hunger? Ask. Don't talk these things to children. They will not understand. Let the children go crazy. Don't try to discipline children. You are a totally frustrated adult, and don't try to discipline children. You will destroy them. Think. Will you say, I want to eat this particular something, I want to eat this particular dish, a cake, chocolate, sweet, idiyappam, whatever you think exotic, pizza, whatever you think exotic. Shall you say, either that or I'll die? Or will you satisfy your hunger with any food that comes on the way? What is the purpose for eating food? Satisfying your hunger. That is, when you are hungry, you shall collect it from the dustbin, garbage dump. You have not seen that. If you are going to the pangs of hunger, you shall pick up from the dust, grab from each other, kill each other for the little food. What is more important? Sensation of food, sensation of taste, or hunger? Sensation of fragrance or the air that keeps me alive? Do you like the happiness or sensation? Experiencing hunting means, listen carefully, experiencing hunting means what all things I should see, what all I should hear, touch, taste, smell, and which nobody else has experienced. Now friends, understand that experiencing means what? Seeing is an experiencing. I have been telling it, I'll make it again and again. You go, you think, you see for yourself. Seeing is an experiencing. Did anybody tell you, or did you ever find out for yourself? Yes, seeing the flower is experiencing. Even the flower is gone, seeing also is an experiencing. When the eyes are closed, not seeing also is an experiencing. Have you ever thought to just little go behind? Experiencing, not experiencing. Experiencing, experiencing. Experiencing, the eye is seeing. Experiencing, eye is not seeing. If this is a gross physical experience, suppose the eyes saw the flower and there is a thought of the flower. And the thought of the flower, eyes cannot experience. Eyes cannot see it. Close your eyes, your eyes cannot see it. Open your eyes cannot see it. Your thoughts are subtle. But those thoughts, are you experiencing or not? The thought built up. Are you experiencing or not? When you say experiencing, it is not like a seeing the thought, not like hearing the thought, not a touching the thought, not a tasting the thought, not smelling the thought, but knowing the thought. So see that word experience, how it shifts from the gross, so many varieties. Sabda, listening, sparsha, touching, rupa, seeing, gandha, smelling, rasa, tasting, and each sound experience. How many sounds? Millions of sounds. How many touches? Millions of touches. How many taste? Millions of tastes. How many smells? How many sights? Millions of it. You can lose yourself. If you want to experience everything, will it ever end? And what is more important, seeing or seeing the things? You go on looking for one after another, one after another, one after another. The sightseeing never ends. Listening to the sounds, music, never ends. Then there is a selection, abusive language, encomium, praising, flattering words. Billions. How many different types of sights? Sightseeing never ends. Touches, not touches only flower. Which flower? Not touching a man or woman. Which man, which woman? Not touching just the Everest top. Which mountains? Once you suppose go to Everest top, which higher than that is not there? Now why do you want to go to, I want to Kilimanjaro, I want to go to Alps also, I want to go to, what is that? Different types of sensations and different types of mountains. Hey, you choose, but first understand what are you looking for. So when you are experiencing the sound, the touch, the taste, the smell, the sight, we are experiencing that we are experiencing through our senses. Don't get lost in the words, okay? We are experiencing. Because the thoughts, which are the impressions produced by the sense experience, the thoughts, impressions, which are produced by the sense experiences, the sensations, cannot be experienced by the sense objects. But my thought, your own thought, you are experiencing. When you are experiencing, you are not seeing it through your eyes, you are not touching it through your skin, you are not smelling it through your nose, you are not tasting through your tongue, you are not listening through your ears, but you are only knowing, janami. I know. A thought is experienced, an emotion is experienced, first thought experienced, built up. Vishayan dhayatu pumsa sangha upajayate sangat kamaha. The thought, first thought, conscious, you are experiencing. Built up, experiencing. That you are building it up, experiencing. From the simple thought, it becomes a kama, desire. I want it, I like it. You are experiencing that. That time is not a trouble. But the moment it becomes a kama, desire. Got it? Greed. Did not get it? Angry. Nobody helped to fulfill it? Obsessed. Krodha, krodhat, sammoha, deluded. Forget everything. But every moment you are experiencing it. Then you struggle to get rid of it. Listen. Then the person says, you should remove all your thoughts. So what will happen? Then you will experience what? You will experience enlightenment. This another word. Enlightenment, experiencing the enlightenment has become the most exotic, bizarre descriptions. Firework, color, explosion, sensations in the body from the top to toe, spinal cord bursting with sensations. People wait for that. Please think, friends, when you are satisfied, is it a sensation? When your hunger has gone, is it a sensation? In all these moments, please understand, because hunger is a sensation. When that goes away, the absence of hunger is a sensation. But what are you really enjoying? Being conscious. What you are enjoying, please, when you are, say, you are got that object, that thoughts disappears. What are you experiencing? Consciousness, yourself, at no time can ever be absent. How do you know your thoughts? Does anybody tell it for you? You are conscious. That thought is there. Thought gone. I'm conscious. Can that anubhava ever go away? Being conscious? That is why bhavami, you are. Anubhavami, everything follows you. First you are, then the thoughts follow, sensation follow, perception follow, objects follow. First you are. Don't understand that language? Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam atma chetana bhati sarvam anubhati. The flower is seen. Eye is see. Eye is see, then the object is seen afterwards. The flowers are shining because eyes are shining. Or the flowers are shining because the sunlight is making it shine. The sunlight is shining because eyes are shining. If you are blind, you will not understand it. Your eyes are shining because mind behind it. You have to bring in that, but in reality not a thought behind, therefore eyes shining. You bring in another dimension, thought is shining. The thought is shining because you are shining. Tameva bhantam. You shine. Everything shines. Anuhati sarvam. Everything shines after you. What is shining? I am interested. That I am shining, I am not interested. What is known? I am interested. That by which I am knowing, I am not interested. See that principle. And same thing, bhati, bhavami, anubhavami, consciousness, immortality. Always there. And as we saw it, friends, every individual, without exception, you are a king or a commoner, president or a citizen, billionaire or poor, young or old, man or woman, everybody, the first, the fundamental origin, everybody is to be alive and to be alive forever. Is there anybody who shall like to compromise immortality? Nachiketas, the 9-year-old child, knew it. When Bhagavan, Yamaraj tells him in Kathopanishad, what? Take whatever you like. Bhume mahadayatanam bunishwa. Enjoy the largest tract of land in the earth. The whole earth you can take. Ima Rama Sadhari Saratha Saturi, all the divine pleasures, celestial excitements. Have it. He Nachiketas, Maranam Manuprakshi. Don't ask about immortality. What does it mean? He said, the very fact you are giving so many things in exchange, that means that must be very valuable. Taveva vaha tavanutya gite niyevechugo. You keep it with yourself. I am interested. Nanyavarap nachiketo brunite. Nachiketas doesn't want anything else. Very strict, very clear, very convincing. Absolutely clear in what he wants. How many people know? They say, I don't want to be cured, I want to be cured. Why? So that I don't die. Have you ever heard anybody, I want to be immortal? No, because that concept doesn't exist in human head. You want a little extension of life. 100 years, that's centenary. Centenary. Because you are tired of living, therefore you want to go away. But I don't want to die. That is the original human urge. And where do you get it fulfilled? Listen. You want to experience immortality? You are experiencing mortality, therefore you want to experience immortality. Like see, hear, taste, touch, consciousness. What is immortal is at all times, all places, in all conditions. In and through every perception, sensation, thought, you are already there. In whose presence you are experiencing everything, when all that you are experiencing, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, all that you are knowing, your thoughts, they are dying, dismissed, self-deleting consciousness. Always there. Same thing, knowledge. You want to know everything? Yes. You cannot know everything. Understand? How many sounds to be known? How many touches? How many tastes? How many smells? How many sights? But that by which you are knowing, in and through everything. Yasmin vigyate sarmaidva vigyatam bhavatiti sat. By knowing which, everything is as well known, because that is the content of myself, my body, my thought, and the whole universe. I'm looking for happiness through sensations. But when you are looking for happiness, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching something, please, what happens that time? The thoughts that are disturbing you, for a perception, the thoughts go away. Where do you find your fulfillment? Not in the object, but again in yourself. So in one place, name it Chetanadi, one experience, which is your nature, in whose presence everything always happens. Everything is existing, it is immortal. Everything is known, it is all knowledge. That same happiness finds in every sensation. Vishayananda, Brahmananda. There is only Ananda. Brahmananda is the only thing there. Absolute bliss. That is yourself. In every other sensation, tasya matrameva bujivanti. The same thing comes out in a sight or a sound or a touch or a taste or a smell. Why do you like the bit in among these five sensations? Think of it, among these five sensations. Listening to a sound, think. Listening to a sound for music. Touching something or somebody, intimate touch. Seeing something exotic. Eating something very, very tasty, and enjoying a beautiful fragrance. In all these five senses, what is, for you, what is the most intense sense experiences? Please tell me. You don't have to tell me. You think for yourself. Because everybody doesn't like everything. Everybody doesn't like only sound is the best. For somebody, sound is the best. For somebody, touch is the best. For somebody, taste is the slave of a taste. Somebody slave of a smell. Somebody slave of a sight. But if you look at yourself, what is that experience? Remember, what is that experience, sensation, which is intense, most intense? Whatever it is, do you know why do you call it most intense? Because if you are experiencing that sensation drowns every memory of yours. When I listen to that music, wow. I touch something or somebody, I see that sight, everything is forgotten. I taste that, everything is forgotten. I smell that, everything is forgotten. Why? Because every thought, listen, all that is heard, seen, tasted, touched outside, my sense organs are forced to be closed up. I close my eyes and all that stuff, and that is completely negated, dismissed. And that sensation is so intense, even the thoughts are suspended. Helplessly you are going to yourself. Think. That is why you start from anubhava, then logic, then shruti. That day I don't know whether I was telling it. We say shruti, yukti, anubhava. Going to shruti straight means what? Dealing with other people's experiences. Then logically try to prove whether it is right or wrong. How will you logically prove it? Put it, practice or put it into test in your own life. Suppose the teacher knows it, he will not tell you straight away go there to the Shruti. Analyze your experiences. Anubhava. Oh, I like the flower. You like the flower or the color of the flower? Taste of the flower, smell of the flower, sound of the music. Will you like music or the sound of music? Sensations of it or the object as such? Oh, these things only I like it. Then logically, when you are listening to that object, you are forgetting that object. So what are you enjoying? The presence of the object or the thoughts are forgotten? Thoughts are forgotten. Logically that's true. Acha. If the thoughts are forgetting, that will give you happiness. What does it mean? You are creating a condition. If the moment the thoughts return, that will go away. So can your happiness be the absence of thought? No. Presence of thought? No. That's a condition. That means unconditional. Your happiness, self-consciousness, that moment, it doesn't depend upon presence or absence of the object, presence or absence of the sensation, presence or absence of the thought, presence or absence of the I thought. You are always there. That is what Shruti says. Write it down, it will be Shruti. But it began with that. You can say Ishvara, Aparushaya Vishaya, beautiful. And then you come back to yourself. Then you know. Maybe a person could not have known it by themselves. Maybe. And if somebody says, no, I can know by, no arguments, sir. If you say you can know by yourself, know by yourself. Who says, why should I argue? Why should I argue? For me, this is what has happened. So beautiful. And this is something which you don't have to prepare for. You want to see Himalayas? You have to prepare for the trip. You want to go to the mountains? You have to prepare for the trip. You want to listen to the music? Prepare for a trip. You want to get married to somebody? Prepare for it. You want to eat something? Prepare for it. For a sensation? Prepare for it. Possession? Prepare for it. For a thought? Produce it. If you want to experience anything, listen friends, if you want to experience anything, what is the most important ingredient of the experience? In order to experience something, listen carefully, it is absolutely exotic. Remember the Tattvabodha classes, I have asked. There are three things in a travel, okay? Just to make it up. There's three things in a travel. The traveler, the destination and the means of travel, okay? There's a destination is Mahabalipuram. Travel is, there is a traveler, there is a means also to travel. In these three things, which one is most important? The destination is important. The means of travel is important. Car, bus, walking, running, flying, boating. That is important. Or the traveler is important. What is the most important? Naturally, traveler. Because in the world there is nothing called a destination, friends. Please see simple way. In the universe there is nothing called a destination. You create a destination, right or wrong? If you want to go to Himalaya, Himalaya is your destination. If you want to go to moon, moon is your destination. Farther the destination, difficult is the journey. Arduous is the journey. You can't go to moon just taking your bicycle or walking to the moon. You can't. You can't walk in space. Understand? So there is nothing called a destination in this universe. If there is no destination, because destination depends upon the traveler, you should be there for a place to be a destination. And when you decide your destination, then the means of travel you have to decide. If I have to go to the seashore, 5 minutes, walk. You want to go to Mahabalipuram, cycling. You want to go to Himalayas, some other means. Other end of the world, some other means. Moon star, some other means. Means of travel. But all that comes only if there is a traveler, right or wrong. Are you getting that? Only if there is a traveler, then only destination. Once you fix the destination, the means of travel is talked about. But if the traveler is neglected, you don't know what the traveler is, but you are discussing the path, the means, the destination. Are you getting that point? In experiencing something, what is the most important thing? What is to be experienced? Listen carefully. What is to be experienced? The means of experience or the experiencer? If I, start with that, if I, the experiencer, is not there, what shall I try to experience? To decide your object of experience, you should be there first. To decide the means of traveling to the point of your experience, you should be there. So first, you should be there. Listen carefully. So this I thought must be there. The I, the individual. I want to experience. Now, my question is, how do you know there is an I which is trying to experience? Who told you? The whole humanity is lost in that. I want to experience, I want. Who is this I you are experiencing that it is struggling to experience? Quite slowly. Who is whispering inside you? And how do you know there is a whisper within? Are you not experiencing the so-called experiencer who wants to experience objects subtle and gross, inside and outside? How do you know there is an experiencer in you who is shrieking, craving, going wild, regretting, demanding, dreaming, feeling suffocated, overwhelmed, denied, wow, frightened, excited? Who? Nothing in the universe feels excited, frightened, frustrated. Look at the trees, look at the whole universe, look at your own body. Deho na janati. The thoughts are not like that. Only I thought. And you are aware of it. You are aware of it not as the awareness, I am the frustrated one. Who is trying that? And in any of your, listen carefully friend, this is the ultimate. In any one of your so-called experience, object of experience, the sense of experience, the perception, the means of experiences, the thoughts, and the I thought. Consciousness is the content of every experience because this is Anubhava Swarupa. You can't experience something, listen carefully, you cannot experience something, see something, touch something, taste something, smell something, think something, emotions of something experiencing, built up experiences. You cannot experience anything without consciousness being a part of it. Take that statement, prove yourself. A conscious experiencer. That is the only human beings struggle for experiencing. You are conscious of your struggle. The I is struggling. I want to feel like I want to go to a temple this morning. I want to go to London. Can you send me to Himalayas? Can I listen to that music chanting? Can I get married or love somebody, I touch something or somebody? Can I taste this food? Can you organize that? A child demands from the parents. Parents demand from somebody else, from the government. Government demands from another government. You understand? I want to see, I want to hear, I want to... Who? Sense organs wanting? Who wants to experience? Do these objects want, wish, desire, dream to be experienced? Do your eyes, ears, tongue, skin, do they desire to experience? You are using those means. Instrument has no desire. So when Bhagavan says, you can, because you have been listening, nimitta matram bhava sabya sachin. Hey Arjuna, be an instrument. Instrument has no desire. To make your body as an instrument, be yourself. Automatically they are instruments. The choice is yours, to use or not to use, to think or not to think, to smell or not to smell, to... You understand? Absolute freedom. In any experience, friends, appreciate. You cannot have any experience, be it sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, thought, no thought. You cannot experience anything without making consciousness an inseparable part of it. Are you going to make it inseparable or it is inseparable? Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, there is nothing other than me in this universe. That is true for Arjuna, true for Krishna, true for everybody. And in that, immortality, natural, always there. Remove it. Anything that is known is a part of the knowledge. For every thought is a part of the knowledge. Every thought, consciousness is part of it. In every so-called sensation, call it ananda, bliss, excitement, consciousness, part of it. Same thing, all the three are same, sat, chit, ananda, all the time. That is why, understand, average person doesn't understand. Do you know why, friends? What people will say? Again another statement I have heard through my 50 years and continuing, 50 years and going, counting. How is he understanding? Intellectually understand. Intellectually understand. But I have no experience. Why? Either you are so unimaginably brilliant, or your teacher is absolutely brilliant of the brilliant. Asking you to wait for that experience. Listen carefully how it is. Just go to your thought experience, you will understand it. You do not understand, ask me. I am telling you, sir. Understand your thought. Why people do not understand? Acha. When you say, Mahadeva, relax, enjoy. When you say, you know this flower, hibiscus, just example. What does it mean? Do you know my mathematics teacher's name in my school? Do you know my grandfather's name? I don't know it. What does it mean? A thought is not there. Right? Understand. Have you seen what's the rice? Khandadhar. Khandadhar. What is Khandadhar? You have not seen. That's a waterfall in the hill districts of Odisha. Oh, I have not gone to Odisha. So then how do I see Khandadhar? I have not seen. Right. Mahabalipuram? God. When I say, what happens? Why do you feel so excited about it? Mahabalipuram means the moment I say Mahabalipuram, the thought hits you. Because you have gone there, you have seen Pancharatha, the 5 chariots are there. Have you gone to London? Oh, it hits you if you have gone. If you doesn't go, I have not seen. What does it mean? The thought hits you. Listen carefully. The thought hits you. When do you say know it? When the thought comes and the thought reminds you of that object. Are you getting that? Have you seen Mahabalipuram? When I say Mahabalipuram, the picture of Mahabalipuram comes in your head and you see that. So when you sit down, you are haunted by your thought. Mahabalipuram Pune, Jagannath Puri Pate, Himalaya Pate, Arab desert Poile, London Poile, Alaska Poile. I have not gone. What does it mean? The names are there, pictures are not there. Okay? So, how do you miss things? What is your regret in life? I know the places I have not visited. Who is regretting? Places, your body, your senses, your thoughts, or I? Listen carefully. So more thoughts, more regret, more frustration. That is why when you advertisers, they push all thoughts into your head. Your head is full of thoughts, objects are far away, miserable, more educated, committing suicide. Not that uneducated people do not. They are just waiting on the back, on the side. When they get bombarded, they will also be destroyed. Listen carefully. So the thoughts means what? This is what it is. Name you know, you have not gone there. So that craving comes up. Just like by creating a name, they have created a destination for you, God has become a destination. God you must see. Moksha, liberation, living liberated. Concepts. And God you must, which God you should see? This religion God, that religion God, that God, this God, this God. Thoughts are there. I will never see it. When there is an all-pervasive God, if you see that, now every problem will be solved. Intellectually understand. Meaning, pictures are there. But what does it will mean? Why? Please understand. Because in the so-called information, thought-oriented information, understand, information-oriented thought or thought-oriented information, either of the way you can see, if information-oriented thought is given to you, God, London, Paris, Himalayas, my grandfather, my father, my brother, my husband, my wife, these thoughts are there. Listen carefully. Sitting down alone, why do you feel frustrated and tortured? Because the thought is there, object is not there. So what is the job of the thought? It reminds you of the object. Magnifies the distance. I'm missing my husband, missing my wife, missing my father, missing my car. I'm missing traveling around the world. Missing. Thoughts are there. Objects are far away. Frustrated. Adding to that frustration is, I know happiness is myself. You know. God is here. If God is all-pervasive, God is here. Teri yaad hai. When you are thinking of mango, you are thinking of a mango, a solid mango which you have seen, but you have not eaten. God is an imagination. Imagination means, or a form, like this statue or that statue, or is a formless, whatever. It's an idea, just a thought. When that thought comes, you know that is not God. It's a thought. Chetana, consciousness, another thought, is a word. Chetana, Atma, consciousness, another word. Understand? You have experienced the name. You have experienced the name. You have experienced the form. Name hibiscus, form hibiscus, you have experienced. Listen carefully. Because forms are outside available. Is the consciousness an object, God is an object outside available? You have got a particular form in your head, you are missing it. Why? What is happening? Please see. When the thought comes, the thought haunts us because the thought is there, object is far away. So it reminds you of the object. When you think of the word God, what does it remind you? An object outside which you know is not God, because it's a stone or a tree or this or that, or it's a particular form. Listen carefully. Consciousness, Chaitana, Atma, what does it mean to you? Words you are familiar with. Intellectually you understand. Meaning, the words I am familiar with, but what it means, I have not experienced. Listen carefully. Mango, intellectually known, experienced. Because mango is seen. Thought is there. Mango is real for me. Experienced. Thought is there. Taste is there. Color is there. So I know the mango. Consciousness. Have you seen outside? Can you ever see outside? Have you touched it? Smelt it? Tasted it? Samadhi. Seen, heard, tasted, touched, smelt? No. But informations are on the top. So you are lost in your thoughts. It should remind you. The mango thought reminds you of the mango outside. That is the job of the thought. When you say the word consciousness, what does it remind you? Nothing. Atma, nothing. Brahman, nothing. Different names of God, nothing. Formless God, nothing. Nothing reminds you. Fighting with each other. My God, your God. Listen carefully, friends. But one common thread goes in all this is, you are experiencing the objects outside, the sense organs, all your thoughts you are experiencing. Listen carefully. Experiencing. And when you are experiencing, what does it mean? You are conscious. Conscious of seeing the object, object gone, conscious of seeing, now eyes closed, conscious of not seeing, now the thought is there, conscious of the thought, now the thought is gone, still conscious. That is not something to be experienced, heard, seen, touched, tasted or smelt. Asabdam, asparsham, arupam, arasam, agandham. Listen carefully. Now you say, oh, if you say oh, and then you name it, this is consciousness, listen carefully, then what will happen? Since the job of the thought is to remind you of the object, mango, it reminds you of the mango outside. Himalayas, it reminds you of the Himalayas outside. But suppose that Himalaya thought is not there, you can't remember it. Without a thought, you cannot remember it. Without a thought, you can't remember your mango, not even your own body. You can't remember your father, mother, husband, nothing you can remember without a thought. A thought reminds you. When you know in every experience, I am there, the consciousness, that name reminds you who you are, consciousness. If it is thought is not there, it is still there. Why? There is a distance between thought of the mango and the mango. Are you getting that point, please? Are you really getting it? There is a thought of the mango. The thought of the mango is not mango. The thought of the mango reminds you of the mango. What is the distance between the thought of the mango and mango? What is the distance between thought of Himalayas and Himalayas? Between your body and the Himalayas, right? That is why you can make a thought of the when you say there is a distance, when you say, when you are sitting in front of me, can I make a memory of you? Are you getting that? When you are sitting in front of me, shall I think of you or shall I look at you? Because your thought, in my mind, your thought, and you are there. Sitting down with you, shall I remember 10 years what we were doing, all nonsense? Huh? Thought is there, object. When the thought is there and object is there, you are directly seeing. Or is it a memory? Are you getting that point? A thought of the flower and the flower. Now think of hibiscus, hibiscus is there. Is it a memory or is it direct, now you are experiencing it right away? If the thought is there, object is not there, if there is a distance between the thought and the object, then you have to go and see that. Listen carefully now. When you have a thought of consciousness, what is the distance between any thought and consciousness, and what is the distance between the name consciousness and what it stands for? No distance. So it is never a memory. You are always yourself. Atma is not a memory. Intellectual means Sabda Jnana. Artha is not there. I am not experiencing. It is Anubhava Swarupa, I am experiencing it, and because of that, people have made it exotic experience. Moksha, Jivan Mukti, Moksha, enlightenment. Oh, enlightenment means big light, right? So that way, everybody invariably will be talk only about the firecrackers, explosions, moon, star. Oh boy. Lights of all kinds, everything exotic. It's infinite, so it should have infinitely exotic. Space is infinite and so dull, huh? Consciousness is... There is nothing exotic about immortality. In and through everything. There is exotic about mortality. There is nothing exotic about all knowledge, consciousness. There is exotic about physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography, every branch of knowledge. There is nothing exotic about the happiness absolute. There is exotic about sensations, all exotic. Be that one which you cannot explain, I cannot escape. Wherever you go, it goes with you. Your body, yatra yatra manoyati, wherever thought moves in consciousness. Yatra yatra deho yati, wherever the body moves in consciousness. There is no place where it is not. Oh, the blackboard is not there. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll do it a little bit. Oh, still 2 minutes there. Do you have a pen? Give. Okay, just see that. Okay, I'm just putting that picture, you can just show it now. Tomorrow is a standard, tomorrow, Sunday we'll do that. Very good. These are all concentric circle or eccentric circle? Concentric, right? Like, see that. Circles, circle. Where is the center? One. Only from this center, you can go circle. Right, sir? Friend. The moment you see a circle, don't you think there has to be a center? Which catches your eyes? The circles are the center. I have put a point there, but this point also is a smallest circle with no dimension of length, breadth and height. Is it a circle or a point? And imagine, the circle is infinity, all directions. So where is the center? Center everywhere. circumference nowhere. Circumference endless. Every point can be a center. Every point can be a center. Can you miss the center? Why? Center is everywhere. But circumference cannot be everywhere. Because circumference around which point? Circumference, you understand? For you to create a circumference, first use a point. For you to experience anything, first you be the experience. As I told you, what is the most important part of the experience? Experiencer. And who is the experiencer? In whose presence everything is experienced. That the eyes are experiencing, you are experiencing. You are experiencing, yesterday I told you, today also, experiencing that your eyes are experiencing. You are experiencing, eyes are not experiencing. You are experiencing, ears are listening. You are also experiencing, ears are not listening. Ears are not listening. You are experiencing the experience of listening. You are also experiencing the experience of not listening. You are experiencing the experience of thought. You are also experiencing the not experiencing of a thought. Your thought is not there. There can be experience, not seeing, seeing, not hearing, hearing, not thinking, thinking. Can you say, not conscious, conscious? Consciousness, can you say that? That word forget, can you say that? Can you think about it? You are always yourself. And it doesn't need any words. Why we people forget that? Because they are with the words. So the words are forgotten, knowledge is forgotten. That is why they fight all the time. I am egoless. Who is telling I am egoless? Mahadeva. I am egoless. Oh boy. Like the fellow in the, remember that story, three students sitting in the ashram or in the temple. Some fellow knocks the door. They are supposed not to talk. So one fellow comes out and says, "Hey, you should not have been coming and knocking the door. Today we are not supposed to talk." Comes back. Then the other three fellows are there. One fellow says, "You cannot keep quiet. Why you have to get up and go? You are not supposed to talk." Right? The third fellow says, "You both are impossible. You cannot keep quiet." The last one says, "I am the only one never talked." When a person says, I am the only one not talked, he is not talking. I am not there. Oh, who is talking? In a Jain story, they very interesting, the same thing they pointed out very nicely. The meditation means what? Dead. Nothing is there. Nothing is there. Nobody is there. When you are dead, all these beautiful things here. The Upanishads, complete picture. Everything is here, friends. We shall see, on Sunday we shall talk about it. Mathematics, you take it, it will be understand everything, Anyway, so the person is like, the disciple trying to prove to the teacher that he is in meditation, he is lying down, because he is dead, So the person touches him and says, "What are you doing?" He wants to describe his meditation. He says, "I am dead." The teacher hits him and says, "Dead men don't talk." So, does it mean if you talk, your wisdom vanishes? That is where you have to go both the sides. That is why mathematics in our tradition, we shall see that on Sunday, friends. How do you begin numbers? 1, 2, 3 or 0 first? Shunyam. What is the name? Shunyam. 0. What you call it in Sanskrit? That is the Sanskrit name is what? We say Suna, Suna. In Odia we say Suna, Suna, Suna. Shunyam. Shunyam means what? Formless, nameless, one. Nameless, finished. Then one. Ekam, Ishvara. First name. And that is the only name. 2. 1 plus 1. 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 4. 1. Either Shunyam, completely nameless, formless, all names, all forms. Nirguna Brahma, Saguna Brahma. Avere unvilla. 2. 1 plus 1. Dvaita. Fine. 3. 3 gunas, 3 bodies, 3 avasthas. 4. Chaturbhida Purushartha, Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, Pancha Mahabhuta. Anything you can give. Shad Vigaro Sthula Sariram, Sapta, 7, Sapta Dhatu, Ashta, Murti Ashtagam, Navadvarapura, Dashakam, Ekadash. Everywhere you can cut it off. And all the time there is only self-consciousness. Now, so please close your eyes. See how in thought, when a thought comes up, it reminds you of the object. You feel miserable because object is far away. You are here, object is far away. When you are just not familiar with the word or name consciousness, but when you listen to that name consciousness, you have been introduced to it, Anubhava Swarup. In every experience it is there. So that is how if you picked up the word Chetana, Atma, consciousness, that name does not remind you something outside as a sound or a touch or a taste or a smell. There is no distance between your thought and what you think of. There is no distance between the thought of Chetana, Atma, Ananda, consciousness, Sat, immortality, and what it is. You can, this is always reached myself. What people say, as the truth is unreachable, how strange. And the objects are reachable. Objects are reachable, you have to travel in time and space. What a headache. Object, truth and the self is unreachable because it is ever reached. Just see that, friends. You cannot reach yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. You can never reach it because you have already reached it. You can reach a point in space, but you can never reach the space because you are never away from it. Amazing dimension, friends. Simple, direct, instantaneous. Anubhava Swarupa. No distance between name and the object, the thought of the object, the thought and the object. When the thought reminds you something far away from you, you miss it. When thought reminds you of something which is you, how can you miss it? And when the thought is not there, you cannot remember the mango or anything in the outside world. But when the thought of, you forget the entire Upanishads, it doesn't matter. What it points out is always there. It doesn't depend upon a name or a thought. So you enjoy every name, every thought, every form, It you do not depend upon, do not need any name, any thought, any perception, any sensation. That is why the center is everywhere. Whoever knows it, a rishi. Rajarshi, many circles. Brahmarshi, simple one. Everybody, Anubhava Swarupa, Jnana Swarupa, Dhyatru Dhyana Dheya Rupa, Dharma Dharma Vivarjita. Meditator, meditation, meditating, all one and the same. You are the consciousness, self, Atma, Chetana, Samadhi, meditation. There are no ups and downs, no opposites, right, wrong, good, bad, papa, punya, death. The opposite of it, not dying. No pain, no pleasure. No left, no right. No up and down. One absolute. The experience, in and through all experiences, gross and subtle, of all kinds, eternal experience, Anubhava Swarupa, in and through the experiences of all kinds, be it gross, subtle, sound, touch, taste, smell, sight, living, dying. Here and now, instantaneous. Thank you, friends. Please listen to it again and again. Think for yourself. We shall have a class on Sunday. Thank you.